Hi everybody. I just came up to do my Flip Through Friday. I'd almost forgot about it until... Oh, excuse me. Remember, Flip Through Friday is hosted by Gwen, the Trash Witch, and I'd like you all to go over and take a look at what she's flipping through, and it'll also lead you to all the other people who are doing the Flip Through Friday. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I enjoy making it. Thank you. So here's my Flip Through Friday books, and as I said before, excuse the lap, but I decided to be comfy and cozy when I did this today. Besides that, this book is way too big to get onto my desk. Alright, so let's see what we have. This one is How to Draw, and it's got some really pretty pictures in it too. I mean, look at that, isn't that beautiful? And I figured this one would be a good one to cut up and use the pictures in some of the things that I'm working on, because Lord knows I'm not going to sit here and learn how to draw from it. I might take a look here or there, but I can find that stuff on YouTube, right? Okay, look at that page. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I love it. And there's a really cool bug. It's not a ladybird, but there's a butterfly, and I'm not sure what the other one is. Okay. And then here we have, I don't know what it is, really. Okay. It's an African England. Okay. And here's the little monkey. Isn't he adorable? That's the way I look in the morning. Okay, and some pretty flowers. And then here's a bunch of pages, or not a page, pages, 2 pages that just have a bunch of stuff on them. You know. And then, you know, you read the parts and figure out what they want you to do. And it teaches a little bit even on shading and making things look like they're really round or whatever. You know, the first time I learned to draw a horse as a child, this is the way I learned to draw it, with circles. It's interesting to see it in a book, in a how-to book. Okay, there we go. And there's a really pretty kitty cat face. Isn't he beautiful? I think he is. And there's a doggy. I like him too. Whoops. And there's the horse. And it's pretty much the way I learned. And there's a really cool goat. And turkey. And a night heron. And a rooster. And then there's some architecture and showing you how to make things so that they look more 3D. I learned about that in art too. Okay. And here's some people walking. Looks like it's a policeman taking their girls out for a date. And, oh, look. Like where Janet Nash is. Okay. And then here's some stuff on faces. Oh my goodness, I'm terrible at faces. I never really got that down pat. My granddaughters are good at it. They can draw. Oh, those girls can draw. I envy them so much. Okay. And here's some more faces. And this looks like maybe an American Indian, or maybe an older woman. That's a pretty cool picture, huh? Okay, and here's some more faces. Lips are something that I like to do. My Tori does a lot of things with eyes. She's really good with eyes. That's another thing that I struggle with. Okay. And then, you know, here's my fave, is the letters. I really need to get my printer set up. Got to get that shelf into the bedroom and see if we can get that printer set up and working. so I can start copying some of this stuff, because there's stuff on both sides that I'll want to use. Yeah, I think this is a really, really awesome book. It's huge, but it's awesome. Okay, and then it's got some coupons in the back where they're selling different how-to books and stuff, and it gives you a list of their how-to and mail order information. And does it say anything about the dates or anything? No, I don't see anything. Okay, and that's the back of the book. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, here's the next book, and it's pretty cool. It's calligraphy projects, one of those words that I struggle with, for pleasure and profit. And this one, I think will be good for like my ransom letters, or just words that you glue onto a page, things like that. Excuse me. Book's attacking me over here. And it doesn't really say a year. I was just looking to see if it did say a year on it. It's an older book. I got these from Goodwill. They're bins. Yeah, I don't see anything on the year. I'm probably overlooking it, but I don't see anything. Okay. And then we got an introduction, and that's all in pretty calligraphy, which is nice because you could always cut that out and use it for something else. And here it talks about materials. I love calligraphy. I've got a glass pen that somebody gave me, a dip pen. I've never used it. I really would like to learn calligraphy. Okay, and here's some more writing. And as I said, take these words out, cut them up, make them work for in glue books or whatever else you're using. And then this is for in the kitchen. It's words and stuff that you would use in the kitchen. And hang on just a minute. Sorry about that. I had to get my glasses and put them on. I was finding it harder to see things. Okay, and there's different, words and stuff that you could take out and use, or you could use in the house in your own kitchen. That would be pretty cool. And there's all the words that you would use for your spices. And it shows you how to make some really cool spice jars. And here's some more spices. Aren't they pretty? I mean, the words themselves I find them to be phenomenal. It would even be cool to just take all these kitchen words and stuff and print them, and then maybe put them on the wall like a wallpaper. I love book pages on walls. I think they're beautiful. Jennifer from Creative Play Everyday did some stuff like that, and it's phenomenal. You should see these walls. Okay. And then shows you how you would put them on the different jars and things, just to make it look nice. And here's some more words and things. A hot shower costs 50 cents for 5 minutes. 50 cents for 5 minutes. Man. It cost me $1.50 to take a shower. Okay. And here's some more cool words. And this is a turtle soup recipe. And here's another recipe. And what do we have here? Potpourri. Everybody loves potpourri, or at least I do. And next to it is something for gilding. I can't really see it. I'm sorry. I just got new glasses and I'm still trying to learn how to look through my glasses and see stuff. Okay. there's some more recipes. It's a crepe. I love crepes. And then at the very top, look at the fish. A fish to be tender and moist. Swim thrice. I'm in water, butter, and in wine. Okay. And here is some other things, some little sayings and stuff, which would be great in a homemade cookbook, right? And like I said, you want to try to get copies of both sides because you don't want to lose all this great writing and words, and I mean, be beautiful. Now here's calligraphy for stationery. Okay, let's look at that. That's what my daughter used to do, calligraphy for stationery or for schoolwork. She had a teacher who had them write in calligraphy so he could read their work. Isn't that beautiful? I miss writing letters and having pen pals. Remember back when we did that stuff? Okay, and here it shows you some of the ways to do things. And then, I guess there's nothing really on that side. Looks like it might be little, it's kind of light, little things that you would put your words in. Labels, that's what I'm thinking of. And here's some pretty lettering. Isn't that beautiful? I just think it's so pretty. And I mean, just imagine using this stuff in our ransom letters. This is why I want to copy this stuff. I think that would be absolutely perfect. And here's some more. Aren't they so gorgeous? And here's some more. I mean, I just figure if I made like a bunch of copies of it and then cut it up, that would be perfect. That would be the prettiest ransom letters you could have. Especially if you're somebody like me and you love calligraphy, but you can't really do it. Okay, and I know I could learn, but chances are getting this ADHD young lady to sit still long enough and learn something new, not really going to happen. Okay, and there's some more. And then here it shows you how you would use things on the envelopes and on the stationery. That way it all matches. We used to make stationery. We had a friend we used to write to, my granddaughters and I, when I was raising them. And we used to put pictures of them on the top corners. I used to take pictures of them and then print them off on the paper. And when we would write the letter, they would get a letter with pictures of the girls right on it. And it was very special to them because they lived far away and there was no way they could see the girls. Okay. And that shows you how to do stamps. And then there's some pretty labels. Aren't those beautiful? Okay. And here's some more things that you can do with the calligraphy. And there's doing the envelopes. Wouldn't that be pretty on Happy Mail? I think it would be beautiful. I wish I could do calligraphy. Okay. And then just some more information. But even this information, as far as I'm concerned, if you took these pages and ripped them to pieces, they would be really cool for using for fodder. Okay, and here's calligraphy in your library. Okay. And shows you some ideas and talks about how to do it. And let's see, here's some more like bugs, different things. See, I mean, this stuff, they're telling you to use it one way. But if you think outside the box, you could just use it in your journals. Correct? I think so. And here's book plates. I didn't know this was in here. My book's heart shall never part. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. And here's some I can't even think what they're called right now. Bookmarks. That's terrible. I had to look on there to see what it said. And look how big it is. Bookmark. Okay. And here it shows you ways to cover the pages and stuff so that you could incorporate your beautiful writing skills. And there's some more things that you would use in the book. And here's for signs. And here's some more sayings and book plates and things. And it tells you about finding out about your taxes and stuff in your area. I guess so you're staying within the law, you know. Okay. And that's a really pretty one, isn't it? It says, steal it outright. Don't politely ask. If I would care to lend, for I'd rather lose my book than lose my book and my friend. That's a cute one. And that's all there is. Okay. Let's see now. Hey, look. Say hi, buddy. He's such a good boy. Yes, he is. He's a good boy. His mommy's little baby. Yes, he is. Okay, I just had to show you buddy real quick. Okay, we're going to go on to the last book now. I know, I'm in another room. I had to move because Honey and the doggy got up, and I didn't want to try to keep working on it in there and make them just sit there. And Honey tries real hard not to interfere or make any noise or, you know, not that I would mind, but he thinks he's helping. Okay, let me take you down and show you the other book that we haven't looked at yet and see what you think of it. We're going to try this again. The last time we did it, it stopped right in the middle. Don't know why. All right, first page shows you some stitches for cross stitch. I forgot to tell you, this is an iron-on transfers for cross stitch. I'm not going to use it for cross stitch because I don't do cross stitch. But that's okay because I can use them maybe to iron on and use for slow stitching. But I can always make copies of them and use the pictures to glue into books too. See? Now, the only problem is going to be that there's a few in here I've noticed that have words. What I would have to do for those if I wanted to use the picture is I would have to take a copy of it and then take that copy and make it reverse image. That way the words would be the right way. And there's some more flowers. And things like this would be great for the top of the bottom of the page, or if you cut them separately, you could put them down the side of the page. And these would be great for page edges. And here's some more things. A great page edge. This would be good for down in the corner of a page. This would be good for one side of a page. Another great page edge. And flowers. And some more flowers and an edge. And we have a bird. I think it's a partridge in a pear tree. And then some birds on the bottom. And here's a bird and a flower and a parrot and a nice page edge. And then something you put on a corner of a page. And here is duck, a nice duck. And this is a bird that's upside down. And a penguin. I'd like to do something for my grandson with the penguin. When he was a little boy, he just loved penguins. He's 20 years old now. This summer he'll be 21. But I still think he might get a kick out of it because it's something that was a part of his life. Good page edge, nice corner. I like to put on a corner tuck or something. And then here we have another parrot. It's a nice edge. And a Christmas stocking with a little elf in it. And here we have somebody in the carriage and the horse is pulling them. I think they're on their way to grandmother's house in the snow. Doesn't that make you think of that song? And there's the little drummer boy and some more edge pictures. And a couple angels, a Tin Man, and a candle. And there's a little elf working with Christmas decorations. And there's Rudolph. And there's peace here. That's one of the things that's backwards. And then here we have a partridge in a pear tree and some different things on there. And here there's a bunch that say joy. Those would have to be turned around or just use as iron-on. This is an ice skater. This is Santa Claus. He's a jolly old elf. And then there's Santa, and he's making a list and checking it twice. Look at that. He starts the day after Christmas. Here's some stockings and some other Christmas decorations. I love these. I love snowflakes. Okay, and there's a rocking horse and a bear and part of a manger scene and some more ice skaters. And there's a snowman on ice skates and Santa going down the chimney. Hope he doesn't get stuck. And there's some more cool page edges. And here's a page with a lot of little stuff on it that you could use as edgers or corners or something like that. And there's the gingerbread house with Hansel and Gretel. And here's where somebody's cut something out, as you can see, if I can get a hold of the page. And then next to it is Little Red Riding Hood, a couple of cool bees. There's Mother Goose and a pig. I love pigs. Oh, maybe that's not Mother Goose. Maybe that's Little Bo Peep, and there's her sheep. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then next we have the Princess and the Pea and Jack and the Beanstalk and some little turtles that would make great edges. Humpty Dumpty, another one that's the backwards letters. And I mean, if you didn't want to change it, you could always glue something over this part just so you wouldn't see that. And some little duckies. And there's can't think of what his name is. The little boy that jumps over the... Oh, well. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. That's what it is. There's an owl and some mice that could run up the side of your page. And the old woman in the shoe and some more pigs. And there's a cow and a unicorn and a sewing thing. I've got a sewing journal that I want to start working on, and that will be great for that. And there's a little caterpillar. He just needs him an apple. And there's Mother Goose on her goose. And balloons, great edge thing. Same with the crosses. And here you've got a little boy and girl. And then you've got some bunnies like Easter. And there's a clown And another great page edge. And that one also had a piece cut out of it. Here you have Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. And over here you have Raggedy Ann and some blocks and some more bunnies with carrots. And I guess this is so if you wanted to make your own pattern. I'm assuming that's what it is. I've never done cross stitch. And here is, well, no, I did do it, but it was a long time ago. Here's the back page, which would be great to cut out and glue onto something too. And that's everything.